Now I am not done yet because I like to share as many info with my candidates. And for that, I have taken one more thing for all of you. What is that? This time, I want to deal with a problem. What is a problem? The problem is, let's suppose if I have many attributes as a part of my data set, hundreds of attributes or more attributes, okay, and I want to get the table definition, I want to get the column definition, or I can say that I want to get a query, create table query using code, using program. How can I do that? Okay, so for that I will be using this taxi zone lookup csv file. Okay, I'm going to upload this file to my s3 bucket. It is having these attributes. We can have many. If you recall, I had shown you a New York taxi data set website. From there, you can download the sample data set even with more attributes. Okay. And I am going to help you out with a program. We will be using a Jupyter notebook we had used before also. So again, we're going to use. Okay. So this is the first command if you don't have these libraries and dependencies installed. We are going to make use of Pandas for it. Okay. So before that, go back, go to your S3 dashboard. I am going to upload the data set, the one I was talking about. So let me provide a folder name. Let's say New York taxi data set, something like this. Okay, if you want, you can. Otherwise, you can directly store the data in the S3 bucket. Okay, I have explained you how you can create a prefix. Okay, let's say create this prefix. And inside this prefix, you can upload the data. So, either you can do a drag and drop or either you can upload the data directly here by clicking on add files. Okay, so let me do a drag and drop. I'm going to my folder where my data set is present. So this is a data set I'm talking about. Let's drag it and drop it. Okay, and you are going to click on upload button. So as soon as you're going to get a message, upload succeeded, this data set is present here. Okay, now all of you know how to start a Jupyter notebook. So open the command prompt. Let me do that. And I'm going to start the Jupyter notebook, everybody. Before starting the Jupyter notebook, I have already configured the credentials in my local machine. If you recall, we had done AWS configure in order to configure the credential. And this is required if you want to interact with AWS services programmatically, okay, using CLI, SDK, or APIs. So now I am simply going to talk about by executing a command called Jupyter Notebook. Okay, if everything would be fine, all the dependencies and libraries will be present on my machine. I should be getting a notebook up and running on the local host. Let's wait for that. So you can see the outputs, and soon I will be getting the notebook up and running on my local host. And here you can see I'm getting this particular Jupyter notebook running. Okay, you can get a new notebook, everybody. Let's go to file. Let's create a file. You're going to create a new notebook, everyone. So create new notebook. Now your credentials should be having enough permissions in order to perform the actions. For example, if you want to interact with S3 using this notebook, your credentials should be having permissions to interact with S3. Okay. For a demo purpose, if you want, you can also give the administrator access. Okay. Only for the demo purpose, everybody. But please secure your credentials. Now, first thing, I'm going to test access to the S3. So let me take this particular piece and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. When I will be running this, I'm simply checking the access to S3. Okay. So this is for creating the S3 client. But if you have to get the output, let's say you want to list the bucket to verify the access, add this particular piece of code here. Okay. And now run this. Can you see? I'm able to list down the buckets in my account. It means I have the access. Okay. Second thing, I'm reading a file from S3 into Pandas. Okay. So let me take this one and I'm going to paste it here. I have to make some changes. The first change I have to make, that would be my bucket name. The second change I have to make, that would be my file key, because right now I have my file available as a part of a prefix or as a part of a folder. So first is bucket name. Let's take it here and provide this bucket name here. Everybody do it. Next thing is I'm going to add this particular prefix here. So this is a prefix I'm adding here. Okay, so what I am doing, everybody, I'm just getting the object from S3. I'm reading the CSV into a pandas data frame, and then I am viewing the first few rows. Let's execute it. If everything would be fine, I should be getting the first few rows as the output. You can see these are the first few rows from the output. Okay, now what is a major thing I wanted to show you? I want to generate the Athena column definition. Okay, that is something I want to do. Okay, so let me take this particular piece, because I told you I want to do it with the help of code. Okay, so let me press enter and let me going to run this. See, I have got the column definition generated. Okay, so this is a Athena column definition. And finally, if you want to create a table statement, if you want to generate a full table creative statement, use this piece of code. Again, I have to provide a table name. Okay, I have to provide the location. You have to change the path here. Okay, and then we are writing the actual code, creating external table, and then we are going to generate the table statement. So go back, and the only change you have to do here, you have to change your bucket name. So come back and provide the location. You will be providing a bucket name in which you have stored the data, and run this. Can you see? You have got the create external table query. Okay, and this create external table query you can directly use in the Athena dashboard in order to create a table, everybody. Let's give a try, and if there would be any challenges, we are going to fix that. So let me give a try, everybody. I'm taking this create external table query, and I am going to take this query in the Athena dashboard. Okay, so here I have pasted the query in the Athena editor. I have also taken another create external table query for your reference purpose. So let's see it step by step. First of all, I have to provide the exact location where my data set is present, because my data set is present inside a folder. So let me provide this, and let me come back, everyone. Because if you're trying to execute it before or without the exact path, what is an error? First of all, let me show you. You can see it is giving you the path can't be empty, so getting an issue with respect to a path. So if you want to troubleshoot after getting an error, that also you can do. It's a very good way to develop your debugging skills. Let me provide the exact path here, and let me now execute this particular command. So control enter, and the table got created. This New York TXT table got created. Okay, and you have all these metadata present here. Now, if you want to preview this table, everybody, let's do that. So currently I'm not getting any data. So see, the program I have shown you is to help you out to generate or create the table definition. Obviously, you can modify or tweak your program as per the documentation. For example, I can tell you how to fix it. Let me drop this table very quickly first. Let me provide the name, and let me delete it. How to deal with this error, everybody? So first thing, you have to check, have you provided the correct path or not? Yes, we have provided a correct path, because my actual data set is present here. So this should not be the issue. Then what can be the next possibility of the issue which is coming here? The next possibility of the issue which is coming here, let's check the syntax, everybody. So as I told you, I have taken for your reference one of the create external table query which we had created on the sales data. Okay. Let's say I am using this field delimiter field instead of this particular separate character. Okay, so let's give a try by executing this particular command and see if I'm going to get the result. So it is successful. Let me refresh it. And there is a table got created. Now let's preview the table. So we're getting the result back. So it means we can say the error was because of this field. Everybody, it was because of this field. Now, next thing, if all of you had observed something, there's one more observation. It is including your result. If I will be again doing this preview table, let me show you one more time. Okay, your result is including the first record as the header, everybody. How to fix this? You know how to fix it? For that, you can alter your table and you can set the table properties to skip the first line. Let me help you out with this also. Copy this one and paste it here. Okay, you have to give your table name, which is New York taxi table. Okay, and now execute these two queries. Let me do it once. And if I'm going to execute select star this time, I will be getting a proper result back. So this is how you can fix the issues or troubleshoot the issues as a part of the Athena dashboard. So it was a good exercise, isn't it? So here what we had done, I had shown you three different ways in order to query the data present in the S3 bucket using Athena. Okay, one via Athena editor directly by creating a table, another via AWS Glue where I am using a glue crawler, and third with the help of program or a Python program where I'm writing my program, everybody. Okay.